So we already finished the staffing part 1 and part 2. So now let's proceed to the leading part, leading function of part 1. So leading is the third element of the management, and it's one of the management function. So the wherein the manager spend time connecting with his or her employees, which includes the leadership skills of inspiring, communicating, motivating, and influencing employees for efficient output. And also, take note here, all managers are not leaders, but all leaders are managers, wherein an employee may follow all the directions of the managers gives because they have to. So kahit hindi nila gusto yung manager nila, they have to follow the manager because the manager has a legitimate power. But there's also a leader wherein the employee is voluntarily give his his hand to follow the direction of the leader because not because of the because of the not because of the legitimate power of the leader, but because of his but because of the belief of the employee to the leader. So these are our topic outline, the scope of directing and leading, the characteristic of a good leader, the leadership function and style, and also the motivation, the theories of motivation, and the leadership theories. First, let's have the scope of directing and leading. Directing is about the instructing, guiding, communicating, and inspiring people so that the objectives can be achieved. So it ensures in this kind of process wherein the efficiency and effectiveness of the employees. And it is called as the management in action. So here in directing, it involves employee orientation wherein um, the employees must be properly oriented before they proceed to their work because it is necessary to inform the or orient the employee about the vision, mission, and the goals and objectives that they need to accomplish in the organization or in the business or organization. Another is that function of directing is to instruction, wherein as a senior manager, there must be a command or order as part of the instruction to their subordinates, especially in a different situation. Another function of directing is supervision. It is the not only give instruction, but they need to supervise the employees and check their work if it is correct or there's a need to improve, especially in the lower level. There's a need of supervision. And next, we have the motivation. Not only as a in directing function is not only supervising or giving command to the employees, but also part of this is motivating employees to do well, especially in times of challenging problems or trials. So, as a leader, you act as a you act or you inspire them to utilize their talent and skills as part of their contribution to the organization. Then also, there's also nature and characteristic of directing. First, the element of management, because it gives a true direction, it initiates the action in the organization. And also, there's a continuing functions, and then pervasive functions wherein there is considered as a centralized function of communication or authority from the upper level management to the lower level management. Is that giving direction from the upper level to the lower level management as a pervasive function. Another is a creative function wherein it as a leader, it directs his subordinates through converting their plans into a good performance. And then we have the linking function. So wherein the directing serves as a connecting link between the rest of the function of management, like planning, going to controlling. So directing is the between the planning stage and the controlling, because if there is no direction, the planning of the management may not reach the controlling function. And then also we have the management of human factor. So it's about the interpersonal aspect of the management. It deals with the human aspect of the organization, especially the human behavior, and it is considered as a challenging function of the management. Then, there are different principles of directing. First, we have the harmony of objectives, wherein the individual objectives must coincide or influence, must influence by the organizational objectives. That's why in the orientation, the supervisor or the manager already orient or informed or aware that by they are aware the newly hired employees about the vision, mission, and also the organizational objectives, wherein the newly hired employees should embrace also as they are working in the company. Because if there is no if the goal of the individual is different from the goal of the management, it will or organization, it will result to problem or chaos later on. It result to conflict. Okay, then next we have the maximum individual contribution. That in doing a task, it's not only about doing just as per requirement or for salary only, but it must, as an individual, um, they must exert effort to perform their job, and that's the one of the function also of manager, to direct their employees to exert in their maximum individual contribution. Then we have the unity of command. So it is another principle of directing, to have the same orders and instruction from their superior. And then we have the appropriate techniques, wherein the manager should use correct direction techniques to ensure efficiently and direction. However, that technique must also suitable to the superior and to their subordinates, and it depends on the situation. Then we have also direct supervision and must have a managerial communication. Next, let's proceed to the leading. So leading is about the process of influencing people so that they will contribute to the organizational and group goals. So directing is different from leading, because directing is more of giving command or instruction to to individuals or subordinates, while leading is more of influencing. So it is more of giving examples or act as an example to the subordinates. So this is about maintaining a good relationship or maintaining a good environment between the individual, and the management. So there are three basic components of leading. We have the influence, motivating employees, influencing employees, and forming effective groups. So as a leader, you motivate your employees or subordinates. You act as an example to them on how to achieve the desired goals of the organization and to create an effective team as performed or as leading lead by their effective leader, and at the same time motivated teammates. So there are different importance of leading here. First is commencing an action. It's about wherein the leaders take the risk for his members. So he is the one who give example. That's why he is the one who start an action. So as a leader, you must have a commencing action. Then providing instructions, motivating others, and then improve confidence, building morale, building an efficient working environment, and you must create coordination. So there is important of leading. So next, let's proceed to leadership. So leadership is the art or process of influencing people so that they will strive willingly and enthusiastically towards the achievement of group goals. So that's why, according to the statement of Peter Drucker, that management is doing the right things and leadership is doing the things right. So ideally, people should be encouraged to develop not only willingness to work, but also willingness to work with zeal and confidence. So it's not only it's not only about doing your work or task, because if that is your way, you will not be happy or satisfied with your output at the same time your working environment. But work you must work well through having a zeal and confidence about your job. And also, leaders act to help group to attain objectives through a maximum application of its capabilities. So that's why in leadership, it is the act of the leader on how he or she influence his or her subordinates. So there are different characteristics of a good leader, and you can also assess this if you have a characteristic of being a good leader. First is honesty, then ability. You have the ability to delegate the task, wherein depends on the capacity. You assess the capacity of the individual while delegating the task in the appropriate person or in appropriate department. And also communication. You communicates the vision and mission of the organization to the team, and also how to make strategies in order to achieve that. And then we have the sense, as a leader, you must have a sense of humor, wherein to make the heavy load of stress or workload can make it enlighten or make it light, so that in that way you can create a happy and healthy environment within the organization. That's why even kahit anong hirap ng work or stress ng work, but then you encourage your subordinates to smile and happy while doing the work. So it will create a good relationship and good output. Another characteristic of a good leader is confidence and also commitment in their work, that they must produce quality output. And then positive attitude. So wherein you encourage your team to to be to to motivate towards the success of of the company, wherein you give them energy to level up. And then also creativity. So wherein you encourage them to think outside the box. So encourage them or you make them participate on what their suggestion or recommendation in your on how you can achieve their objectives, and also ability to inspire the team. And as a good leader, you have a intuition. So follow your intuition. Next, there are different leadership function here. First is setting goals, and next organizing, then initiating action, coordination, direction, and motivation, and it serves as a link between management and workers. So as a leader, you act as a mediator between the management and worker. You must not be a pro-management only or a pro-workers. So you must, here as a leader, you must create a good or harmonious relationship between the management and the workers. There are different leadership style that is based on the authority, use of authority. First, we have the authoritarian or autocratic leader. The leader tells his or her employees what to do and how to do it without getting their advice. So, as in this type of leader, autocratic leader, you did not allow your employee to get their suggestion or advice. You are the one who informed them of what they should do. And next, we have the participative or democratic leader, wherein the leader includes one or more employees in the decision-making process. But the leader normally maintains a final decision-making authority. So here from the word participative, you encourage them to share their ideas, and then create strategies or a possible action to achieve to solve the problem. And then later on, as a leader, you are the one still that have a final decision making authority. And for laissez-faire leader, wherein the leader allows employees to make decision, however the leader is still responsible for the decision that are made. So here, there is a difference between the three leadership style. In authoritarian autocratic leader, there is no suggestion or advice that is allowed. While in participative or democratic, you encourage them to share or to contribute their ideas or their advice. But then, still the leader, will do the final decision. While in laissez-faire, you have a confident um, to your follower or to your employees. So that's why you make your employees um, the one who will do the things or make a decision, but then whatever the decision of the employees, you are still the one who will take the risk or also take the responsibility of whatever their decision will be. So there is a difference between the three, and that in this type of leadership, in this leadership style, with the use of authority, it depends. You can apply this depending on the situation. So if you are in a war and you are an army, you cannot use the participative or democratic leader, especially between taking the life between life and death. So you can use the authoritarian or autocratic leader for urgent decision. But if you are thinking, or if you have a plan, or you are working in a certain organization or a business wherein there is a need to consult in the lower level management or in the middle level management, the possible solution. That's why you can apply the participative or democratic leader here, wherein there is a different alternative courses of action, and wherein as a leader you will make the final decision. But then it's different from laissez-faire, wherein you have a if you have a trust to your employees, you can apply the laissez-faire. But then if you don't have enough trust or and confidence with your co-employees, do not use the laissez-faire leadership style. Then let's have the motivation. Motivation refers to the process by which person's effort are energized, directed, and sustained towards attaining goals. So as a leader, in the motivation, you need to energize your employees. So there are three key elements here for motivation. We have the energy, direction, and persistence. So there must be intensity or drive to do or to perform tasks with quality. And also, there must be a direction that they will perform well. And then there's a persistence, wherein there's a continuous or consistent with the work. There must be a work hard based on the consistency of their performance in order to achieve the organizational goals. So also, there are different theories of motivation here. We have the Maslow hierarchy of needs, the McGregor's theory, X and Y, the Herzberg two-fact theory, and the McClelland three needs theory. So the first theory of motivation is the Maslow hierarchy of needs, wherein we have the physiological needs, safety needs, belongingness and love needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization. So as part of motivating the employee, if that employee is on the level of physiological needs, you must create a strategy also or alternative course of action wherein you help the employee to motivate well, wherein you can provide um, health benefits to the employee at the same time, example, providing them a company car for their in going in going to the work, to their workplace, or going home. So you secure their safety needs. So wherein it is part of the motivation. And also, if that employee is lack of self-esteem, and there's a need for esteem needs, so you must can provide a part of the motivation is to give them appreciation through providing them a certificate of appreciation or awards for their recognition in their job accomplishment. So you satisfy their um esteem needs, wherein there's a prestige and feeling of accomplishment as part of the motivation. Okay. Then let's proceed to McGregor's theory X and Y, wherein then the theory X is that there are two types of employees here. In the theory X, the employees dislike work and they are lazy. They dislike responsibility and must be coerced to perform. So they don't want to work because it is in the theory X. And in the theory Y, there's assumption that employees like work and they are creative, seek responsibility, and can exercise self-direction. So here on the negative side is the label of theory X. And for the theory Y, this is on the positive side. That's why you must know or you must assess the two theory that wherein you can apply to their motivation. And then we have the Herzberg Motivation-Hygiene theory, where it is known as the two-factor theory, which is the hygiene factors and the motivator factors. So this is wherein part of this is that there is a satisfaction to job satisfaction, wherein you convert the this job dissatisfaction of the person into job satisfaction through providing, as you can use the motivator factors of providing the achievement recognition, advancement, and also the possible work challenges and growth and responsibility to the employees, which has a job dissatisfaction, to convert it into satisfaction. And that way, I'm able to satisfy the employee may satisfy the based on the company's policy and administration, and can be the quality of supervision, relationship with the supervisor and the group or team, and also they are satisfied with the job, and they are feel secure, and improve their status as part of the satisfaction. Okay, then let's proceed to the McClelland three needs theory. So in the McClelland's three needs theory, so it involves first need for achievement. So you identify those people that has a high need for achievement in order to motivate well, in order to achieve the desired success. So identify if in terms of their needs. And then let's go to the need for power. It can be that there are people or employees that is their need for power. That's why in order to exercise influence and control. So as a leader, you must provide you use your power to motivate your employees, and then need for affiliation. That's why there are employees that is not feel they are not feel they are feeling alone, or they are not they are feeling of not part of the company. That's why they are not motivated. So as a leader, you must encourage them to maintain a pleasant social relationship and to build a sense of intimacy and understanding with your subordinates, as you enjoy a friendly relationship and interaction with others. Okay, let's go to the leadership theories. We have first the great man theory in 1840s. So here in this theory, they're more focused on leaders are born, not made. So we're in because there are leaders that is develop their skills based on their experiences and high educational attainment. But then in a great man theory, so it's on within the self of the person that he is born to be a leader. So that's why here in the great man theory, there is charismatic leadership that is made here, wherein charisma means gift. So being a leader is a gift wherein others do not have. Then next, we have the trait theory in 1930s to 1940s. So it includes ambition and energy, the desire to lead, honesty, integrity, self-confidence, intelligence, and job-relevant knowledge. So there are more. This is more focus of this to the personality, social, physical, and intellectual traits of leaders. So this is more focused on the analyzing mental, physical, and social characteristics of a leader. Next, let's proceed to the behavioral theories, which is in 1940s to the 1950s. Wherein uh, it is includes the autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire type of leaders. Okay. Next, let's go to the contingency theory of leadership, wherein people become leaders not only because of their personality attributes, but also because of various situational factors and the interaction between leaders and group members. So this is contingency theory, so wherein they are based on the situation or condition. So here, the success of the leader is a function of various contingencies in the form of subordinate, task, or group variable, wherein it depends wherein the demand imposed by the situation. So that's why you cannot, here, you use the different types of leader, depends on the situation. Then we have also the Fiedler's contingency theory, which is departs from the trait in behavioral model by asserting the group performance is contingent to the leader's psychological orientation based on the group atmosphere, task structure, and leader power position. We also have path goal theory, wherein the main function of the leader is to clarify and set goals with subordinates and also help them find their best path for achieving the goals and remove obstacles. So this is part of the function of the leader. Okay, then there are different categories of based on the theory, which is formed into 4 groups. We have the supportive leadership, the participative leadership, the instrumental leadership, and the achievement-oriented leadership. And there are 2 types of leaders. The transactional leaders first, which is identify what needs to be done to achieve goals, including clarifying rules and tasks, as well as rewarding performance and providing for the social needs of the followers. So in transactional, this is more focused on the from the word transaction. So focus on the needs of the followers, that that they may able to motivate and wherein it serve as a guide to satisfy the followers. So using transactional leaders, they are more focused on the needs to be done to achieve goals. They are more focused on the goals of the organization through and what possible needs is that to clarify rules and tasks, rewarding performance to the followers, and providing the social needs of the followers. So they build a positive and mutual beneficial relationship. So in transactional leader, they use disciplinary power and incentives to motivate employees to perform at their best. While in transformational, they are more focused on the articulation of a vision, and at the same time, they inspire and motivate their followers, and they create a climate favorable for organizational change. So the focus here on the transactional leader, they are more focused on the change. So their focus here is the vision. They serve as guide to their follower on how they able to create the same vision, and they gives inspiration and motivation to their followers as they create change in the organization. While in transactional, they are more focused on the status quo of the organization, and they follow the policies and set setting and the set goals to achieve, and they need to, with the purpose of doing their role and task, and achieving and providing a rewards for a good performance, and to provide and to build a good relationship with their employees or subordinates. That's on transactional leaders. But in transformational leaders, their focus is on the vision. They are making their vision as one vision of their followers also. And they inspire and motivate their followers in order to create a favorable working environment for the purpose of change. Okay, so the advantages here is that it's about guiding an organization to success. So here in transactional leaders, it handle all the details that come together to build strong reputation in the marketplace while keeping employees productive in the front line. But in transformational leadership style, they are more focused on the strategic development, at the same time making a ambitious goals to achieve a rapid success through the vision and team building skills of the leader. Okay, so that's the end of our discussion.